Tonight, the 1% that may matter. That's the conservative estimate of how many mail-in ballots will be rejected in the swing states, like North Carolina, where polls point to a neck-and-neck battle.
Traditionally, North Carolina only has a 3 to 5% participation in absentee by mail, and we're projecting to be somewhere between 20 to 30% of voters who will use that voting method.
That could mean thousands of ballots rejected.
This really matters, doesn't it?
Oh, it absolutely matters. We definitely want to reduce our rejection rate.
And they've taken many steps to do so. Voters whose mail-in ballot has been rejected will be notified and given the chance to fix or cure it. Voters can track their ballot online, and this year, North Carolina has 2 extra weeks to process mail-in votes before Election Day. Other battleground states are not so lucky. In Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, they're expecting a huge increase in the number of mail-in ballots from 2016. There are tracking systems, but no requirement in either state to notify voters if their ballot is rejected. When mail-in ballots are rejected, most of the time it's because they arrive late. Many swing states are trying to help by extending deadlines. In North Carolina, by an extra 9 days. But voter error is harder to fix. In North Carolina, voters must have a witness sign their ballot, but many don't.
This comes down to a question of experience.
Professor Daniel Smith tracks absentee ballots in real time.
If you're voting by mail, it's like hopping on a Harley and thinking that you're just going to be able to zoom off into the sunset. But there are a whole set of rules and regulations that you need to know.
And this year, he says, there is evidence rejection rates may double or even triple.
Thus far, we've had about a 97% success rate with our absentee by mail ballots being completed properly, the envelope materials and so forth, which is, we consider to be very good.
But Professor Smith points out a troubling reality. Black voters in North Carolina are having their mail-in ballots rejected 200% more frequently than white voters.
3% of African American ballots cast by mail have been flagged as a problem.
Yeah, 0.8% for white voters so far. Those numbers are going to continue to go up as voters wait and make mistakes.
Explain that to me.
We're not really sure why there's a discrepancy, but there's nothing about our process that, favors one race over another.
Does it concern you?
It concerns me anytime we are not able to count a voter's ballot.
She points out every one of those voters will be contacted and given a redo to fix their ballots. Still, don't be surprised if many states end up in court arguing about what ballots can't be counted.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.